What was your experience tonight, and what did you think of what you heard?
She didn't
I
smile a
think
lot.
that the president was unprepared. I don't think that he did his homework. We've seen States of the Union addresses delivered by many presidents, Democrat and Republican. They almost always have substantive policies that are offered. I agree with Senator Klobuchar there that there was no plan. There was no plan to address our opioid crisis. There was no plan to address the cost of health care. There was no plan to increase wages. It was, I had to ask myself, is this a campaign stop or is this a State of the Union?
Can I also ask about your decision to bring
exactly.
your guest with you here tonight? Obviously, you have the choice about how to attend in your own right, but also who to bring with you and why and what message you were trying to send. I'd ask you to talk us through that as well. Oh, we've lost them.
Yeah, audio is becoming an issue tonight, but apparently
Why? Because she eviscerated Donald Trump? Oh, come on. Oh.
Squared away on Capitol Hill.
Oh, there she's back. She's back. She better get that back.
Sorry about that. We've been having little gremlins like that all evening, but I appreciate you sticking with us. Ana Maria, I was asking about your decision to be there tonight and the Congresswoman's decision to ask her. I wonder if you could both talk to us about this decision, how you came to it together.
Well, I was very honored when my congresswoman asked me to join her, and I understood it as an invitation that was not just for me, but really it was an invitation for people across the country to tell their stories, to join in protest, to make democracy come alive, to breathe life into it by making sure that their demands, their aspirations are at the center of our debates. And I understood that was the message that you wanted to send, that you cannot do this alone, that you have this bold vision, but that you actually need everyone outside making a forceful demand of our members of Congress.
Absolutely, and I think that Ana Maria represents something so special about American democracy, which is that any normal person in any one moment has the courage inside them to step up in a critical moment that could change the course of our country. And I think that that's what Ana Maria did in that moment in the elevator. And it did change the proceedings of the vote. Senator Flake, as a result of her testimony and the way that she expressed her story, asked for a further FBI investigation before the vote proceeded.
Ana Maria, it's Brian Williams in New York. I have to ask you, because I was wondering this in real time, what it was like to be in the same chamber tonight as now Justice Kavanaugh, because we all came to know you in that videotape moment, as emotional as it was in the argument in real time.
It was sad. I am sad that the Supreme Court is tainted by a process that puts someone accused of sexual assault in the highest court of the land. I think he represents, in many ways, the inability of many politicians to actually understand that their role is to govern by listening and to actually allow themselves to be moved by the experiences of people that are different from them, who are trying to, with their stories, educate them. And in many ways, I feel sad for the many decisions that Kavanaugh is going to make that are going to impact many, many people, millions of people, my children probably, women, LGBTQ families, workers, all of us, and that those decisions are always going to be tainted by a process that I continue to believe was irresponsible, and the people deserve better.
Congresswoman, thank you. Congratulations, by the way. We've never met, but congratulations on your upset victory in the primary. What did you make of the president's, I thought, pretty aggressive statement about Venezuela tonight? And he talked about being a socialist country and how we're never going to be a socialist country. It was pretty truculent, but it tied the notion of socialism to that particular regime. What do you think about the president, why he did that?
Well, I think that he needs to do it because he feels himself losing on the issues. Every single policy proposal that we have adopted and presented to the American public has been overwhelmingly popular, even some with a majority of Republican voters supporting what we're talking about. When we talk about a 70% marginal tax rate on incomes over $10 million, 60% of Americans approve it. 70% of Americans believe in improving expanded Medicare for all. A very large amount of Americans believe that we need to do something about climate change and that it is an existential threat to ourselves and to our children. And so I think he sees himself losing on the issues. He sees himself losing on the wall, on the southern border, and he needs to grasp at an ad hominem attack. And this is his way of doing it. But what we really need to realize that what is happening is that this is an issue of a very authoritarian regime versus democracy. And in order for him to try to, dissuade or throw people off the scent of the trail, he has to really make and confuse the public. And I think that that's exactly what he's trying to do.
Congresswoman Ocasio-Cortez and Ana Maria Archila, thank you both very much. Congresswoman, thank you for sharing your guest with us here tonight on the broadcast. Appreciate your time.
Yeah, great to have you both here. That was great.